But like in theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Crypto Green Day. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Looking good. Don't forget to get in the chat there, get lively. So hope you guys are having a good time out there. We got Craig Pitt in the house there. Morning all. Things are starting to look very bullish. They are indeed nice and green for sure. Now I'm only streaming on Hex Token channel today, so big shout out to everybody on Hex Token, and we'll get back to streaming on the other channels soon. We'll get on soon. All right, so let's have a look. Let's get it straight into the markets because they're green. Let's talk about it. Get into the chat there. Tell me something that you're really excited about that's bumping, that you've picked up or something like that. So get in there and talk about that. What else? We got the stock market there. S&P 500 closes higher on cooling inflation. It's good news around inflation. It's what we were after. I've said in the past there to be optimistic that we might get some good news there. Rally in the banks. The banks are rallying as well. That's very important. Obviously, you want the strong banking sector performing. So we've got the Dow Jones at the moment is up 1.65%, 703 points. That's a big day. 43,221 on the index. Remember, Dow Jones top 30 industrials. We've got the S&P 500 is up 1.83%, 107 points to 5,949, and the Nasdaq is up 2.5% out of 466 points to 19,511 on the index. So pretty amazing stuff. Let's have a look on the chart. We can see that we're up in all-time highs for all of these. So Dow Jones, it looks incredible. S&P 500, look at that, pushing even higher, just about. It's not far. And the Nasdaq, right at the top there, pushing higher there. So pretty cool. We've got Trump inauguration coming within the next 5 days. So that's really cool on the 20th of January. And of course, perfect person to come in with the inflation, to get that down and get interest rates moving and get the US economy and the world economy back on track. December's core CPI unexpectedly cools. Now, if you remember the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we had the producers price index, which is kind of the wholesale prices. That beat expectations. That was lower. That was good news. And then we got the CPI, one of the two main retail indicators, and this has come in very good as well. So we've got obviously the nominal rate there. So the overall CPI, Consumer Price Index, sentiment has been boosted Wednesday after data showed the headline Consumer Price Index increased by 0.4% month on month in December, slightly faster than a pace of 0.3% in the prior month, being November there, compared to a year earlier. CPI gained 2.9%, up from 2.7% in November. So even though that was up higher, the good news came with core inflation. So it strips out fuel and food. This rose by 0.2% on a monthly basis and 3.2% year on year, below expectations of 0.3 and 3.3. So this is the key piece of news there with the core inflation that strips out fuel and food. Volatile components, and so that was what the market really liked. Still, some on Wall Street continue to see risk for inflation, reiterate expectations for just one cut this year. Our baseline remains for just one cut of 25 basis points. So that we'll see how that goes, and that timing being March or May. Now, March, we'd already seen that priced out already, so May was looking more likely, but maybe they'll do March following up on the last year's interest rate cuts. Remember, that was 1 percentage point. We got 3 cuts, I think it was, last year. So kind of cool. Now, heading to the report, concerns had been swirling around about nagging inflation, particularly after last week's blockbuster employment data. President-elect Donald Trump plans to impose strict tariffs on allies and adversaries alike, have also fueled the worries. Now, obviously, he's doing that strategically. So we'll see where those actually land and how that plays, because last time it wasn't too bad. Markets are positioning for a much slower pace of interest rates cuts in 2025, So we'll see. With the Federal Reserve, they're forecasting just 2 rate cuts. So let's see how we go there. I think there's still a little bit of uncertainty, but that is kind of the lay of the land. Let's jump over into crypto. So we've got Bitcoin there at $99,686. Certainly like the inflation news there, up 3%, and it had been at 100K earlier. We're going to look at that in a minute. Ethereum there up 6%. What a big move there. 3,429. It was down. Was it close to 3,100? I think. XRP there up 15.6%. Can you believe it? $3.08. I think XRP is kind of trash, but hey, look, the market's pricing it in. And of course, along with ADA, seems to be performing pretty well lately. Can't argue with the market, despite what you might think personally. We got BNB there is $712 at 1.7%. Solana up 8%. ADA there is up 7% as well. We got Tron up 6%. AVAX up 7% there. XLM up 12%. So everything is getting dark green. So that's over 5%. Our Litecoin up 10.5%. So pretty much amazing across the board. We even got ALGO over here is up to 20% at 44.5 cents. So some real winners happening there. Bitcoin dominance going down 55% as well. So it certainly is crypto green day. I think we've got some more people in the chat there. We've got Steve Wright, Santa Barbara. Hello, Superman. Steve Wright, this time from New York, the city of dreams. Big shout out to you, Steve Wright. Big shout out to the Mafia family on Pulse Mafia. They're dominating New York and the city of dreams. There we go. Wookie says the Hulk is in the house. Good to see you, Wookie. Hit the likes. Definitely smash those likes. Hexalorian says, Hardy Hexalorian says, hello to the green day today. It's going to green year 2025, baby. That's how we like it. We are green. Let's go. PDDC. Yeah. Well, that's one of the top performers on Pulse Chain. Amazing project. We got Bob Sled as well. Hiya, folks. Hey, good to see you, Bob. Hope you're doing well. All right. So here we are with the Bitcoin chart. And today's green candle is beautiful after yesterday's green candle. And the high today was $100,716. So back up to the 100K. So everything is going to plan. And looking good. So good inflation news. Trump inauguration within 5 days. Everything is going very, very nice indeed. We've had this little bit of a bear trap, which we suggested. A bit of a bear trap there. Do we draw that? I don't know. Let's do an arch again. Do you want to do a curve? Let's do a curve. A bit of a bear trap in here. This sort of thing here. Let's give or take, plus or minus. So a bit of a bear trap in here, and then off into glory, right? Off into glory. You guys feel like a bit of Bitcoin glory, whatever that means. And so, the targeting 150 to 180K, 150K by March, April. Yeah, you heard it. And how we might get there? Well, so big days like this, right? Big days like this. If you look back here, we had a huge move. Within 5 days, we were up 22K. So if you're wondering how can we possibly get there, well, look at what we did in 5 days back here, 22K, right? So we could definitely get some of those things moving us quickly into 150 land. Bring it on. Now that's traditional top of the market. However, I'm very bullish about 2025. We've got everything perfectly lined up. There's nothing really unusual. Obviously, there's always black swan events out there. Gray swan events, things that we kind of know that could be bad, but so far nothing really lined up there. So everything is just golden bullish, from ETFs to government sovereign states, corporates all getting into crypto, and may very well go from go mainstream eventually. So 2025 looking pretty good, and I'm actually kind of getting cautiously optimistic about 2026 as well. Bring it on. But in any case, that's our target at the moment. So far, so good. Now we are above the 50-day moving average in the yellow. So the yellow there is 94,662. And we're currently at obviously almost 100K. So bring it on. It's going to be fun times. All right, so that is a Bitcoin. Ethereum finally making some moves, and very powerful moves at that. Look at that. Bounced off the 200-day moving average at $3,100. Is now over the 50-day moving average at $3,400, and we're currently at $3,424 with a high today so far of $3,475. So nice move over there, back over the yellow line, and of course we want to get a good close don't we? A close over that 50-day moving average. Ethereum there on to the races. So exciting stuff. Remember, Ethereum ETFs going to have a FOMO into that. So that's kind of cool. So that is pretty much our crypto coverage. We're going to get into Pulse Chain. Let's go to Pulse Chain. And we've got day 614. We've got Pulse at quadruple 0549 up 11.3%, 55% of the mean sacrifice price for Pulse. Remember Hart's Law for this, because it's going to play a very big role in this year in pumping Pulse Chain. So remember that. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0381 up 18.4%. PulseX like a boss. Still super cheap too, 38% of the mean sacrifice price. We hit 1.2 trillion in the buy and burn. Yeah, well, not quite, it's rounded, but we got 1 trillion 195 billion. How about that? Pretty close. And we're at 5.99% of the public PulseX is bought up and burned. Those are the stats. Incentive token up 15.9% at $2.16. A ratio at 39,500. So that's really gone up quite a bit, heading back to 40,000 with over 53 million or around 53 million in supply. Hex there is up 16.6% at 1.6 cents. EHEX is at 1/3 of a penny. And of course, the combined price EHEX PX is at 1.95 cents, so almost back at 2 cents. And I put out a video a couple of days ago how bullish a HEX is going to be this year. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so that's looking good. Let's go quickly to the gas prices. 1660 is where we are. So the beats have been pretty high on Pulse Chain lately. We did have 30 cents the other day when I covered this. I think it was yesterday. And today we're at 3 cents for a PulseX swap. Gwei is 7 Gwei on Ethereum. We're 263 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. The validators, we've got 44,177 validators ticking away. And the bridge there up. Oh, well, that's up a lot, isn't it? So when I did the stream the other day, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember now. We were at 122 mil, and we'd been up 2 million from the previous day. We're now up at 131, so we're up $9 million since then, either since yesterday or a couple of days ago. That is pretty awesome. So Bridge is doing well. Looking at total volume, oh man, volume's really jumped. We were doing 25 million when I did my live stream the other day, yesterday or the day before, whatever. We're now at 43 million. Isn't that cool? And transactions at 327,000. So looking very, very good on Pulse Chain. Axis Alive there is making a nice strong rebound back at $20,272. Axis, of course, is a big influencer in the Pulse Chain ecosystem, does a lot of TA stuff. That is up 53% today. So a big, big jump. Staked ETH is actually just taking the #1 spot while we were watching it. That's up 53% as well at 2.3 cents. Milady there is up 44%. Linker, which has been around for 30 days, is up 43%. Teddy Bear is up 32%. I know that's Moon King's, was it Moon King? Moon King, I think that's right. That's up 31%. X is up 30%. That's only been around for 5 days, take note. UFO, which is related to PDDC, one of the top performers, is up 30%. Nice movements going on there with UFO. And Mafia is on the rise. So Mafia has hit 0.2 of a penny. And of course, as you guys know, we are promoting Mafia on this channel. It is obviously we are the most feared and powerful family out there, really, on all dimensions. If you think about it, when you aggregate dimensions, I should say. We're up 29% at the moment. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. That price having a massive pump. And I think it's early days. You're going to see some pretty big stuff on Mafia. We have covered it. A lot of people don't believe yet, but they'll believe soon enough. Rick Most Wanted, the meme coin 24 days ago from the Interpol. That's up 26%. G-Baby. G-Baby up 25% there. So lots of gainers going on. Live Free there. That's up 25%. What else is going? BFF up 23%. So we've got lots of coins over 20% there. Aave, honorable mention. PDC, of course, the Greys up another 21%. Let's go jump in on that and see how high that is now. Look at that, a new all-time high. How about that? New all-time high for PDC, the Greys. So if you're in that project, you're very happy indeed. One of the best performers, possibly, I don't know, is it the best? I don't know, but it's damn good. And that's pretty impressive, right? Pretty impressive stuff. So PDC, the Greys, and UFO doing very well. What else is looking pretty interesting here? Everything's up. SolidX, Diehard, Aliens up, PulseX, of course. We talked about Atropa. They're all pretty much up, and Hex, of course, up 15-16%. So everything on the move, and the volume's going up pretty dramatically. Let's quickly have a quick look at the PDI. PDI at the moment is sitting at 1.78 cents. Seems to be stuck there. Is that stuck? Is this right? I don't think this is right. Let's refresh. It seems to be stuck there. I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, it's stuck. I don't know why that's stuck. That's weird. Anyway, I might have to abandon ship there. Abandon ship. We're going to go off to Titanex now, since we're doing the crypto green day. We're going to through the markets. Let's see here. Who else has jumped in here? We got Kirby says, "Is there a way to send Pulse privately to another address, something like Tornado Cash?" Now, we did have two options. Both of them have gone. One was a kind of low rug pull, yeah, and the other one just abandoned it for some reason. So those are both gone. I'm not aware of any off the top of my head. We did have two, but they've gone. Anyone else, if you can remember, I kind of have a feeling there's one other, Pulse LN, I think, and possibly is. I don't know if it's fully private though, but Pulse LN is a possibility. Certainly very good service. I think it's still operating. We got links in the Discord under useful links. But other than that, I think the two that we had were both kind of, one was rug pulled, I believe, and the other one was just abandoned for some reason. They couldn't bother keep maintaining it or something. Or maybe it just didn't have the turnover that people were expecting it to have. Wookie in the house there, yes, 122 mil. Nice. Talking about the liquidity that was on Pulse Chain. All right, let's jump over to, let's bring in the Titanex, shall we? Let's do that. Let's switch that out, switch out the screens. And let's get into that. So, bam. All right. Got the right screen? Oh, yeah, I have. All right, so Titanex. Woohoo! So Titanex there. Obviously, Titanex had a massive upside. Let's just rehash what we've been rehashing. But Titanex had a massive upside, during the months of August, September, October. Over 78 days, it rallied, 10x in that period. That was wave one. And then wave two, of course, has been pretty down to the downside. We got down to about 77% correction. So you get this massive volatility with good performing assets. So that's pretty much made the bottom, and that made the bottom in about 71 days. So slightly short, about a week shorter than wave one. So wave two there down. And now everyone's looking for wave three, right? So we're thinking about Elliott waves, kind of the idea. And this was a model projection for me using Fibonacci extensions and retracements being the pullback. So I got a target price at 2,700 with 5 zeros. We're currently at 6 zeros, 5,000. We just hit 5,000. That's a pretty important line. You can see, actually, let's auto cue that. You can see that on the yellow line. The yellow line is the 21-day moving average. So if we close above that, that's a very good sign, at least a helpful sign in the right direction. But we've had a nice little pushback here from the local bottom at 6 zeros, 4,000 to 6 zeros, 5,000. But obviously, we need to get some higher highs here. So we need to get over, at least I would say, over 6,200. We're currently at 5,000. So we're only etching our way back there, trying to break out of this 6,200 mark. That'd be the first target. Now, in terms of the price of Titanex versus Ethereum, let's have a look at that. And we got Kill the Hive Mind in the house there with the eyes, having a look. So in terms of that, we're still pretty flat. Nice green day today. This is the first kind of solid green day for a while. And we'll be watching this. This is what we really want to watch there. So what is the Titanex price versus Ethereum? It's currently at 9 zeros, 1464. 9 zeros, 1464. Recently it bottomed out at 9 zeros, 1154. So it's up a bit from there, but still got a long way to go to get back to its previous all-time high of 20 on the 20th of October, where it was 9 zeros, almost 6,000. So a long way to go there. I think that was the all-time high, yeah. Well, not all-time high, local high. It turns out local high. Previous high was at the beginning, but remember there wasn't much inflation out and there was a lot of hype around. Kind of ignore that. So previous high is this one here, 6,000. It's kind of like the true high now as well. with all the inflation pretty much out and being burned off. So this is the gateway to the Titanix ecosystem, right through Titanix. And of course, it's about to go omni-chain within a week or two. So could be any day actually now. I'm looking forward to that. Now, in terms of the rankings, here are the ecosystem tokens inside Titanix on Ethereum. We've got Matrix is up 58.5%. It's a real strong day for Matrix at 1800th of a penny. The big news, of course, is the big utility. Ouroboros is coming, and of course the other big utilities, arguably Titan Farms, which is already launched, being very successful in my view, and of course Front, really great economics or tokenomics there, and of course the other one is Element 280, and there's been a few versions of that now, which is kind of a big buyer, right? Big buyer and staker, and burner. So, but this is the third one, a lending protocol, kind of like a liquidity fork, have a few little differences. Initially collateral, you can collateralize different tokens. It's going to be supply sync for Titanix and DragonX, and Ethereum, I believe, is going to be the next one to be pushed in there. And then, of course, some of the bigger volume LPs may make their way into collateral as well. And of course, we're thinking about Hyper and Hydra, Tink token, Vault, for example. Those are the high LP and potentially higher volumes as well. So we'll see how those ones make it in there. But that's kind of the launch, and that is looking to launch before the end of this month with the testnet already up, a final testnet up today, I believe, or yesterday. So that's going pretty well. It's rallied big time, 23%. Let's go have a quick look at that because you can see the last 4 days. This was anticipated in Strategy Club. We sort of talked about this. That's up 179%. So that's 3 days there. So if you haven't joined Strategy Club, links in the video description. Only $35 a month to join that for all the intel. All right, Scale up 19%. Morpheus. Now, Morpheus is from Brandon, formerly Rags to Riches. This is up 17% today. And this is built on top of DragonX, right? So it's finally at a nice little green day there. Seems to have bottomed out at 1300, now at 1540. So that's sort of tracking up. What else is looking good? Obviously, Titanix sitting at number 5. This is a very good sign that Titanix is in the top list here. Previously, we had seen other projects, be bullish, but Titanix was way down. That's not a good sign. Just waiting for Titanix to start elevating, and then everything else should leverage off that, right? Obviously, firstly, or primarily in US dollars, but secondly, in the leverage against Titanix. So that's going to play. So good news there. I see Godex just jumped up ahead there at 15.5. Now, X28, of course, Titanix looking pretty similar together. Very good news. Now, I want to go into Titanix X28 quickly. Let's have a look at Titanix and X28 in terms of their volumes. So we're going to go check out the websites and have a look at the stats there. So Titanix liquidity is at 45.06. So it's going down about 200 billion a day approximately that I've noticed. And we're sitting at 101 trillion. So we're almost down to the 100 trillion mark. That would be a good sign, and I think people will like that once we get that, lose that zero. And remember that 101 trillion is made up of 3 different things, right? Liquid is 64.6 trillion. Staked is 8.5. Boy, has that gone down a lot. I think it started like 18 or 19 trillion before Shogun came out. Now it's sitting at 8.5. So that's dramatic. It was down like 10 trillion or so, 11 trillion. And the BOT is also down. I think it's down 27.8, 27.9, so just below 28 trillion there at the moment. And so this number's going down. Now, obviously, the reason the number's going down was getting burned off by about 200 billion a day. And that is at 123.17 trillion now. So that's going good. That is heading in the right direction, right? And I think, that's going to be fun when we lose a zero. How many zeros have we got there? We got, was it 12, 15? We're going to go down to 14 zeros. Isn't that cool? So that's kind of the cool thing there. Omni-chain with the X supply. Some real interesting stuff happening here because the liquid supply is at just over 0.25% liquid. You can hardly see it. That's the liquid supply, that little blue slither. Is that insane? And it is only 55 billion X28 in existence. Remember, X28 and is the omni-chain version of Titanix, and there's hardly anything there. Now, obviously, what's going to move that? Well, omni-chain, arguably, moving to other chains. People are going to have to start routing Titanix through X28. And, of course, that's going to go across-chain, being a supply sync across-chain as well. So there's massive boom mechanisms just waiting to be lit. The flame, you're basically about to light the flame here. It is it is going to be pretty interesting to see. It could be extremely powerful mechanism. And of course, also we're going to see, as far as I know, we haven't seen anything like this in crypto. As far as I know, let me know in the chat if you have, but I don't believe we have. And then secondly, getting projects built on X28. There's at least 4 projects that are coming on X28. Some of them maybe very soon. So that is maybe 5, 4, 4, definitely 4. And so we may see some interesting demand because there's not much liquid X28. And what's eating it up? Well, Shogun, right? Yeah, Shogun's primarily eating it up. So you can see in here LP pools and Shogun. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But imagine other protocols, there's hardly any liquid. Obviously, people are going to have to drive through this supply, this liquid supply, right? This supply here, maybe a little bit of BOT. That's about it, right? So I think we're on the doorstep of something pretty incredible. Let's see how it plays out. Obviously, the more successful on base chain, which is the first chain, then this should be pretty interesting to see that play out. And of course, in addition to that, that demand on X28 is also going to be the arbitrage bots across chain, not just on chain, but across chain. So obviously, Shogun's being fed with the buy and burn through on chain MEV bots, but what will be like with layer 0 with bots, trying to arb between Ethereum and base chain, for example, and eventually, multiple chains with the omni-chain setup. So going to be really fun, folks. Could be pretty magical. We shall see. That match is about to be lit soon, pretty soon. Jake's just ready to light that, I'm sure, soon. That's pretty exciting now on the old X28. Some of the other ones that we got here, we got Hydra. Hydra is going to be it's up 13%. Look forward to the minting supply to be out pretty much by mid-Feb. That could be game on, especially with the Titan X sitting in a buy and burn there. The Dragon X sitting in there. That's going to be fun to see that play out. So all these mechanisms are going to be like dominoes and a boom, 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 domino effects. And so Titan X is going to do something pretty special, I suggest to you, by February. And we're expecting the market generally to be very bullish in February because it's the most bullish month pretty much. And we got the Trump coming in. So this everything's set up pretty well. Viper up 12%, Turbo up 11.6%, 18X up 9%, Inferno up 9%. Inferno really lacking that momentum. It's got the highest burn as far as I know, 58%, but just lacking that momentum at the stage. But of course, the team's got lots of protocols they're trying to build on top of that. So we'll see how that goes. Demand is the key there, and the teams are trying to work that one out. And of course, let's see what Hyper is up 8.5%. That's the other one along with Hydra. We're expecting some big things there with the mining out as well, largely in February. So Hyper there with a lot of Titan X sitting in there. So compared to Hydra with the Dragon X, we've got Hyper and the buy and burn, tons of it, right? Millions of dollars. So let's see where that goes. All this stuff's going to work on it, build on each other. It's going to be fun to see that play out. Shogun, of course, is burning around about 4.5 to 5.5 million tokens a day. And of course, that's up 8% at the moment. And of course, that should benefit with its Shogun X28 pair from all those things I said earlier about X28 fundamentals. Flux up 7% there. Felix up 7%. Awesome X up 7% there. Volt is let's see where we're going to Volt here. Helios is up 6.5% there. Phoenix up 6%, so not bad across the board. And then Volt here sitting at 5.8%. Now Volt, of course, is got a lot of cool things coming. Staking is coming for Volt. So this is we got the second. There's going to be 3 audits. The second audit for Volt is coming up this Friday. So we're probably only 2 weeks away from staking for Volt. So obviously you can go into the yield farms, but you're going to be able to also go into the staking. And of course, the rough numbers, if you've got $500,000 in trading volume, then about $5,000 a day is going to go into the reward pool. And of course, that adds up over 365 days. The other thing is that there's also Bitcoin Genie, which I'm very excited about. I think, is this going to be one of the big solutions to getting more buying than selling? I'm really excited to see where that goes from Stevie D. And that's also going to benefit Titan X and Volt, importantly. So a lot of love coming from Volt, and the supply itself is disappearing, right? Disappearing by about 1.8 to 2.2 million a day. We can see 41.32% is gone now. there's only 616 million tokens left. So this is going to be fun to see this play out, right? And the vault balance is down at 17.25 million at the moment. The auction looks like the auction is pretty much is gone. It's 10%. So that is going along pretty well. That's kind of the vault updates. Definitely going to be fun to see that play out. Everything else pretty modest. I mean, Stacks is up 4%. Not many NFTs there, so it could be a good long-term play for the Stacks one. Element 280 as well had a big whale burner, right? I think had a big whale burner. So that burned off a lot, if I remember rightly. And so it's just recovering from that from the looks of it. So this could be pretty interesting. How many NFTs are left from Element 280? Let's go check that out. Let's go be nosy. Don't tell the dude that we're checking it out. No one tell the dude that we're looking at Element 280 and the NFTs. All right, let's go to Element 280. And let's just go to the stats page, actually. So he's got 3 products, right? He's got Element 280, Element 369, and Stacks there. And, of course, they often use a tax, right, to do the fees, except for Stacks. I don't think Stacks has that. So let's have a look. We got NFT supply, 8,728. That's definitely gone down. We've got how many NFTs burned? 8,155 burned. Can you believe it? There's 8,728 left. So almost 50%. Getting there. What else there? 54% burned of the token, Element token. NFT backing 32%. So remember the NFTs have a Element 280 backing on it. That's included inside the NFT if you want to cash it in. NFT rewards 1.85%, liquid 6.83%. So pretty modest liquid supply, 5.2% in the LPs. That's kind of the king there. Let me have a look. What else we got? To the auction into there, the stats there. Jump through that. Lots of good burnings. Let's. I just want to go back to the. We've got the reward pool there. I think it's the Vault Manager. Now, the other thing I didn't say about Shogun is that we're expecting a Vault, a LP Manager, right? We haven't seen that. It's actually taken longer than I thought we were going to get it. Probably a reason for that from Jake Sharp. So that's another bullish thing for Shogun is that LP Manager, because that will fatten up the liquidity and avoid the fee, the 8% buy sell transfer fee. So what's in at the moment? $2,700 inside the rewards with 3 days and 15 hours to go. So I think as a long game, it's not probably going to be a pretty good one there. We'll see how that goes on that one. So pretty cool. All right, so that is a bit of a look at Element 280. We've got Legend X there is pretty modest at 1.2%. Baby Dragon X down 4.4%. Lotus down 8.6%, and Eden down 14.5% there. So some discounts going on there. So that's pretty much it on that. Now looking at Shogun, a bit more detail. We've got about 134,000 plus or minus on the volume. Remember, 8% of that's going into feed Shogun. So that's ticking away. It's ticking away. It's certainly not big numbers, but certainly 10 to 12k going into maybe 10k, 11k going into Shogun at the moment. And Shogun, let's have a quick look at Shogun. Shogun is burning away quite a bit as well. I said about 5.5 million a day. Maybe sometimes a bit lower, but that is where it's at. So where are we at there? We've finally gone below. Circulating supply is finally going below 4.4 billion. Isn't that cool? That's a really good sign. Let me bring up the numbers here because I have a snapshot. It's a little bit late today because I did it a bit late, but we've gone down a bit there. The burn's definitely gone up. 3 or 4 million, 4 million there so far. We've still got 5.5 hours to go. So yeah, we are ticking away on the burn. That's just slowly ticking away. Pretty good. All right, and of course, let's see what happens with the X28 there. So I think that's about it on the list. Let's scroll right down to the bottom of the projects coming up. So the projects coming up, Oribor is expected, the big lending protocol. This could be a big catalyst for TitanX. TitanX already moving. We can see in the top 5. So this could be really big. Obviously, supply sync for TitanX, DragonX, and stablecoin USDX coming. So that's potentially very bullish for the ecosystem. It will really matter how much stablecoins actually not just being staked in protocol, but actually moving around the system, pushing up prices. The leverage part of it. That's really the sustainable part. Otherwise, it could be just a short-term blip. So we'll see how that goes. But still, nevertheless, very good for supply syncing as well. The other one, of course, we've got lots of projects coming up there. Warp, Bitcoin Genie, excited about that for vaults. What else we got going there? We got Ascendant, that's been delayed, but looking forward to that. That's going to be bullish as well. What else there? I think that's Ascendant X28, right? I think that's right. Let's quickly go into that. I think we've got, I think it's X28. Tink is the one that the Senate's going to be very bullish for Tink, the Tink farm. Now, Tink farm at the moment, what is the price of Tink? 18.5 cents. So Tink definitely needs some love there, but it is doing very well. Regardless of that, the Tink Titan farms is doing very well and potentially coming to base chain and, of course, pulse chain. That's what Eric says. So let's see how that goes. Currently, the volume is 11.2 million, so still a long way to go up the upside there. 1.5 million Tink tokens is burned, 7 million in supply. So that gives you an idea. That's probably what, about 18% or something like that. So looking not too bad. Some of the yields still pretty good. X28 Tink Titan X, still both over 100%. Volt Titan X not bad either, 94%. So and Volt Dragon X looking pretty good. So still some very good yields, and so that Ascendance could be a good catalyst for burning the old Tink. Flare's coming, and Mizuchi, looking forward to that. Taurus there from Cryptographics, that's coming. And what else there? We got the Vernix there. Question mark over the Vernix there. I need to read the paper properly, but it's talking about Titan X staking. I'm not so sure about that, but once again, I need to do a proper read. I should probably not pre-read it too much. And then Bonfire is coming, right? Bonfire, and this is an X28 project, right? So this is going to be paired with X28. So it's kind of cool. Bonfire coming. What are the other ones there? Yeah, I think a Flare is. I'm pretty sure that's X28 linked. I think it is. I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. Liquidity pool, X28. Yeah, only X28 PS. So you sort of see there's about 4 projects coming for X28s, and there's not much X28. So what do you do about that? Well, you have to convert some Titan X. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see that. One thing to remember with Titan X, even though we're looking to burn through it and transform it into X28 and things like that, is that there's always going to be some Titan X that won't move. Just like you see in any project, there's always a fair percentage of Titan X that will probably just sit there. I don't know why people forget about it. People, something happens to them that gets left there, and sometimes it can be large wallets too. You just say, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how far down we get through Titan X. But regardless, if it doesn't move, then it's pretty much kind of quasi burned, right? Quasi thing. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that is that's the Titan X overview. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And that's our kind of a macro coverage today. Green Crypto Day. Not bad, not bad. And I think it's just warming up, right? Just warming up. Let's see what else we got. Wookie says, join the strategy club today. Yep, only $35 a month, and we pass all this intel through there. So get in there. We've got very knowledgeable people in that group. So big shout out to everybody in the strategy club. Hexavator says, hey gang, good to see Hexavator. Big shout out to you. And Wookie says Incognito up 16.6%. So apparently that's important news for Hexavator there. Nice, very nice. Darren in the house there, getting ready for the night shift. Managed to catch another live one. Woohoo, Superman, the goat. I appreciate that, Darren. Yeah, hope your night shift goes nice and speedy and very cool. I know night shift can be a tough one. I got friends that work, they actually worked 13 hours and they work through from what time? About 8 o'clock in the evening, all the way through to about 7 in the morning the following morning. It's pretty hard. I think they said the hardest part is around about 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I wouldn't be surprised about that. They have to do a lot of physical exercise to keep fit for that. So big shout out for you, Darren. There. All right. I think we're going to wrap up there. 40 minutes on the live. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Get on to Mafia game, man. Mafia is going to be the number one GameFi, certainly Metaverse on Pulse Chain and BNB. Check it out. I think there's going to be some pretty amazing things happening on that game. And of course, if you want to find out more, hit me up on that one. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll catch you on the next stream. Bye for now.